How we doing? Welcome back to Jeff Outdoors. I am back in the Jeff Outdoors car. It is Wednesday, and it is raining heavy here today. Yes, we're still in the throes of maple season. So if you haven't caught some of my maple season videos thus far, they are available for your viewing pleasure. So, okay, just thought I would throw this video out there today. So, most everybody is aware of the East Palestine, Ohio train derailment at this point, I would think. I don't live close to East Palestine, but I'm really not that far away. I could be in East Palestine about an hour and a half. Probably quicker than that. Hour and 15 minutes. Hour and 20 minutes maybe. So today we got news about the local grocery stores pulling some bottled water off the shelves. So locally here in our area, the county that I am in touches the county that East Palestine is part of. So we have a spring, a water spring out in Columbiana County, which is where East Palestine is, and it's a spring where the water gets bottled up and it gets sold locally here as spring water, and it's really good water. I actually drink it all the time. So that was kind of one of my reasons for putting this video out there. Is the bottled water that I do buy is getting pulled from the shelf by our local grocery stores in my area because of the uncertainty of contamination at the spring source, which is in Columbiana County. So according to the news report, I guess there has already been testing at the bottling and the spring source, and it hasn't tested for any of the chemicals from the derailment and the chemical burn release, etc., etc. But apparently the grocery stores have decided to pull that water off the shelf. So it's kind of unnerving. It's you know, the governor of Ohio, our governor Mike DeWine, was in with a few people this week out in East Palestine to essentially visit. There was some news reports they visited, you know, in town, and you know, drank some of the tap water, and they trust the science of the testing of the water, and so that's what they kind of wanted to show. I know there's been reports of people having some rashes and you know, some a few health issues because of the controlled burn release, at least, right? So as far as locally here, you know, the rest of the world is probably getting the same news that we are getting locally. I really haven't heard much else about any issues. You know, there were fish that were dying in the creek. There were you know, some traces downstream getting into the Ohio River down near Weirton, West Virginia area. You know, some chemical traces there, etc. But I haven't really dove into any of the real information, if it's even out there. You know, internet information is you know, when the internet came out, we weren't even, when we were writing papers and looking for resources to write papers back in the early 2000s in college, the internet was not a source of proper bibliographic information to be documented in any kind of research paper. And to me, it's still that way. So I'm very weary of any information that I get online. even if it's mainstream media, especially if it's mainstream media, but any information, So there's other ways to get that information, and that's a whole other different video. But I wanted to let you know that we are seeing some impacts from this derailment in my area. Again, I'm about, if I had to drive out to East Palestine right now, it'd probably take me an hour and 20 minutes. I don't drive slow, but I don't drive fast. And it's kind of a straight shot the way that I go. So, no health altercations or, health issues or anything around my area. So thus far, we were not inside, I guess, the plume when they were burning the one tanker that had spilled. They had the controlled burn, whatever. But being in a local Ohio, a local to the area, somewhat here in Ohio, Eastern Ohio, it's disappointing to see a president who won't even goes to Ukraine and won't even come into our little Ohio town to see possibly one of the biggest environmental emergencies of the next 30, 40, 50 years. Who knows? It's like the new Exxon Valdez almost is what it kind of sounds like. But really disappointed in the presidential administration on their decision to put Ohio last. And the only person who came out and stood up and said anything was Donald Trump. And then they sent the FEMA. And then they decided, we'll send FEMA now. Yeah. You know what? If I was the town of East Palestine, I'd say, you know what? You can keep your frickin' FEMA. And the Biden administration can frickin' keep everything else. And you will never get another Ohio vote for the Democrats ever frickin' again. And that's what I would say.